Have you ever just stood up for the kitchen and felt slightly dizzy, your heart pounding? It sounds like simple fatigue, but sometimes it's the final warning before a heart attack. You think it might be your age, not enough sleep, or just feeling a little under the weather. But the truth is, millions of people over 60 have ignored those exact signs and then never got the chance to learn what was truly wrong. A heart attack doesn't always arrive like in the movies. It's not always an intense chest pain collapsing in the middle of the floor. It often comes silently, with subtle signs, the kind that are easy to ignore. And the most heartbreaking thing is, many strokes, many life-threatening heart problems could have been prevented if only they were recognized just a little bit sooner. In this video, we're breaking down 5 early signs that millions of older adults have overlooked, just because they thought it's probably nothing, but were the body's first warning of an approaching heart attack. If you have ever felt your body being off, but did not know why, or you have a loved one who had a stroke without clear symptoms, please watch this entire video. Because sometimes 1 minute to listen to your body is an opportunity to preserve an entire life. So let's start with the first symptom you should not ignore. Mild chest pain that radiates to the neck or arm. A fleeting pain in your left chest could be the only time your heart cries for help before it stops beating. Many seniors think a heart attack will come with intense pain, shortness of breath, collapsing on the street. But in reality, the first symptom is often very mild, a vague tightness, sometimes just a slight heaviness in the chest, spreading gently to the left shoulder, neck, or arm. And because it's mild, many people have ignored it, chalking it up to fatigue, muscle soreness, or age. By the time the pain worsens, sometimes just hours later, it's too late to turn things around. After 60, blood vessels start to narrow, the heart works harder to pump blood throughout the body. When the heart doesn't get enough blood due to a blocked coronary artery, a heart attack occurs. But the heart doesn't always sound a loud alarm. It warns with small, silent signals. According to the American Heart Association, AHA, over 30% of elderly people hospitalized for a heart attack reported feeling mild, vague chest pain 1 to 2 days prior, but did not seek medical help. More concerningly, women and people over 70 often have atypical symptoms, only feeling a dull ache or heavy pressure, easily mistaken for a stomach ache or stress. Harold Jensen, a 78-year-old from Omaha, Nebraska, once felt a mild pain radiating from his left chest to his right shoulder while watching television. He thought it was his posture. A day later, he had a heart attack while out in his garden. "If only I had called the doctor right then," he recounted from his recovery room. Fortunately, he received emergency care in time. The key here isn't to panic, but to be aware. If you feel chest pain, even if mild, even if not prolonged, that radiates to your neck, jaw, shoulder, or arm, especially on the left side, don't write it off. See a doctor immediately, or at least call a doctor to ask. Early detection can help you avoid severe consequences like heart failure, stroke, or death. Don't let a small pain be the last warning you ignore. Your heart is still working hard every day. Give it the chance to be protected in time. Because sometimes survival can come down to just one call, one doctor's visit, and 1 minute of not ignoring that fleeting chest pain. And it's not just mild chest pain. Another sign that's often overlooked, but is very alarming, is feeling short of breath even when you're not exerting yourself. If you find it hard to breathe while doing nothing, that could be the first signal, and also the last warning your heart sends. After 60, being short of breath when climbing stairs or walking fast might feel familiar. But if you start feeling breathless while not doing much, just sitting at rest, standing to cook, or walking slowly, that's no longer just a normal sign of aging. It could be a warning from your heart or brain, signaling that there isn't enough oxygen to nourish the body, and that could lead to a heart attack, or worse, a stroke. The heart is the central pump that sends oxygen-rich blood throughout the body. When the heart is blocked or working inefficiently, oxygen can't reach the muscles and brain sufficiently, making you feel short of breath, as if you've just climbed a hill while sitting still. This symptom is often ignored, as many people assume it's due to fatigue, lack of sleep, or the weather. However, according to a report from the United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, Unexplained shortness of breath is one of the three most common early signs before a heart attack in people over 65, especially in women and people with diabetes. And what's dangerous is this symptom often appears silently, without obvious chest pain or dizziness. The story of Dorothy Allen, a 76-year-old from Spokane, Washington, is a wake-up call. She started feeling short of breath while washing dishes, although she had been active normally before. She thought it was the muggy weather and turned on another fan. 2 days later, while reading a book, she felt a heaviness in her chest, severe shortness of breath, and was diagnosed with an acute heart attack. If I had listened to my gut feeling, I would have avoided that, she shared. So if you experience unusual shortness of breath for no clear reason, without exertion, do not wait. Call your doctor. Describe the symptoms clearly. If it's accompanied by fatigue, chest pain, sweating, call for emergency help immediately. Acting within the golden hour can save your life and prevent complications like heart failure or a lasting stroke. Shortness of breath is a small flag your body raises when the circulatory system is in trouble. Don't pretend you don't see it, because your attention today might preserve a healthy heart, a peaceful breath, and a fuller tomorrow. Just like shortness of breath, another symptom, often taken lightly but very concerning, is breaking into a cold sweat while you're at rest. If you break out in a cold sweat while sitting still, it might be the last signal your body is trying to send. One of the most commonly overlooked early signs of a heart attack and also a stroke is breaking out in a cold sweat, especially when you're not active, not hot, and not stressed. Many older adults simply think it's old age, irregular sweating, or probably indigestion. But in reality, when the heart is stressed from a lack of blood, your body shifts into survival mode, and a cold sweat is a silent yet serious warning. When the heart is deprived of oxygen or not working properly, the autonomic nervous system triggers a danger alert to regulate blood pressure and body temperature. This causes the skin to feel cold and sweat to break out even if you're resting or have just woken up. This is a survival response, signaling something is seriously wrong, often with the cardiovascular or central nervous system. According to the American Heart Association, unexplained cold sweats are a symptom present in nearly 40% of heart attack cases in people over 60 and are often accompanied by mild nausea, dizziness, or unexplained fatigue. If not noticed, the person could collapse just hours later without any warning. Larry McConnell, a 73-year-old from Columbus, Ohio, said he started feeling sweat on his neck and back while reading the morning paper, even though it was cool and he was sitting still. He also felt a little dizzy and his heart was racing. Instead of ignoring it, he called his daughter for a ride to the hospital, and just 30 minutes after admission, he had an acute heart attack. If I had waited another hour, I might not be here to tell this story, he said. If you experience unusual cold sweats, especially when accompanied by fatigue, nausea, mild chest pain, or shortness of breath, do not wait. Call for emergency help or have a loved one take you to be seen immediately. Always be alert to seemingly small changes, because for someone over 60, every signal from the body is a matter of life and death. Don't let a silent sweat become the last sign you notice. Hold on to life with attentiveness, because you are the only one who can feel your body speaking up. And sometimes the smallest reaction is the biggest warning. If you are still watching and getting value from this, let me know by dropping a 3 in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and ringing that bell so you don't miss out. Your support means the world and helps us keep making content just like this. And if you have ever suddenly felt dizzy, unsteady on your feet, or had a feeling like you were about to fall, for no clear reason, don't think it's just a common dizzy spell. If you find yourself stumbling, even while just standing still, sit down immediately. Your heart might have just skipped a dangerous beat. After 60, feeling dizzy or losing your balance is often chalked up to normal things: standing up too fast, lack of sleep, or probably just low blood pressure. But in reality, this could be one of the earliest and most overlooked signs of an impending heart attack or stroke. The heart and brain need a stable blood flow to function. When not enough blood is pumped to this brain due to a blocked coronary artery, low blood pressure from a weak heart, or an arrhythmia, you might suddenly feel off balance, lightheaded, or dizzy. If this happens while you're resting, with no apparent reason, especially when accompanied by fatigue, sweating, or mild chest pain. It's not just a dizzy spell, but a potential red flag from your cardiovascular or nervous system. According to the United States National Heart Institute, loss of balance and dizziness are symptoms present in nearly 25% of heart attack cases and 60% of stroke cases in people over 65. And the danger is, this symptom is often ignored because it isn't painful or clearly dangerous, like chest pain or paralysis. Sheila Thompson, a 75-year-old from Portland, Oregon, once found herself stumbling while cooking. Thinking it was just from standing too long, she sat down to rest, then continued. The second time, the dizziness was accompanied by fatigue and a cold sweat. Her daughter immediately called for emergency services. Doctors determined she was experiencing a silent myocardial ischemia, which could have progressed to a full-blown infarction in just a few hours. I thought just drinking some water would help. I had no idea, she shuddered, recalling it. If you or a loved one feels a sudden loss of balance for no clear reason, especially while doing light work or sitting still, treat it as an emergency sign. Sit down safely and ask for help, and immediately call a doctor or emergency services. Do not try to get up or sleep it off. In old age, maintaining balance isn't just about your legs. It's a subtle warning from your heart and brain. Listen early, act promptly. Sometimes that alone is enough to preserve a healthy body, a full and peaceful life for every day to come. And if you're not dizzy, have no chest pain, no cold sweats, but still feel exhausted, like your battery is drained without understanding, why don't that be dismissive either? If you suddenly feel exhausted, unable to take another step, even if you just woke up, it might not be fatigue, but a final cry for help from your heart. After 60, fatigue is a common thing, but when a feeling of exhaustion hits for no clear reason, even if you haven't done heavy work, lost sleep, or been sick, don't be so quick to chalk it up to just getting older. This could be the first and most silent sign of a heart in danger, or worse, an approaching heart attack or stroke. The heart is the organ that continuously pumps blood to the entire body. When there's a blockage in a coronary artery, or the heart is working poorly, oxygen and nutrients don't reach the organs sufficiently, especially the brain and muscles. This causes the body to enter a state of exhaustion. You feel listless, unwilling to do anything, just wanting to lie down. This feeling is very different from being tired from overwork. It appears suddenly, without reason, and often lasts an unusual amount of time. According to a study by Johns Hopkins University, over 55% of women over 65 hospitalized for a heart attack reported feeling unexplained exhaustion 1 to 2 days before chest pain appeared. For men, the rate is about 30%, but still high enough to be one of the most noteworthy signs. Carl Nguyen, a 72-year-old from San Jose, California, had a habit of taking a light walk every morning. One week he felt unusually tired, wanting to sit down after just a few steps, his body limp as if drained of energy. He assumed he had a slight cold and rested for a few days. When sudden chest pain arrived, he was hospitalized and diagnosed with a heart attack. Fortunately, he received timely emergency care. "If only I had listened to my body from the start," he said. If you feel a prolonged, unexplained exhaustion, and especially if it's accompanied by shortness of breath, mild chest pain, sweating, or dizziness, do not wait. Call a doctor or emergency services. Your early action could be the line between a smooth recovery and permanent heart damage, or even a stroke. Your body is never silent. It's always trying to whisper clues to you. And that unexplained exhaustion is a sincere reminder from your heart. I need you to pay attention. Listen, before it's too late, because sometimes preserving a steady breath only requires one timely action right now. Some people pass away from a severe heart attack, but some people pass away just because they sat down for too long and then never stood up again. An unusual cold sweat, a light dizzy spell while sitting, a feeling of fatigue unlike any other. You might ignore it once, but the heart, it does not ignore, because strokes and heart attacks are not something you can deal with later. They're a matter of tomorrow or even this afternoon. If after this video, you start observing your body more closely, paying more attention each time your heart beats differently, or asking yourself, is this fatigue different from usual? Then you have done the most precious thing. choosing to listen before it's too late. And if you have a loved one who still thinks that at this age you're supposed to be tired, please share this video with them, because a single reminder could save a life. Thank you for sticking with me to the end. My wish for you is to live slowly enough to listen and mindfully enough to protect your heart in the gentlest yet most powerful way.